Hello and welcome to a different kind of video. This time we're not doing another tutorial video. This video will be the first part in the series where I show you how I built my first Pico W controller, and I will be documenting the entire process. In this video I will explain how I got to build my first PCB. You'll see the design for yourself, and I'll show you how it works so far and some issues I ran into. I will link the GitHub repository and the Medium article related to this in the description. So let's get started. First, I want to disclose that PCBWay got in touch with me via the comment section of a Medium article I wrote a while back. I will link the Medium article that relates to this video in the description so you can get more background information. Anyways, after some back and forth, I agreed with the collaboration and I got to design the board. So I will be putting paid promotion on the top of this video since I did the collaboration with them. So just to be completely transparent here. Anyways, let's get to the design. Alright, so let me show you the screenshot of the original PCB design. So you can see this is the one I originally did. Now this is not the exact one because I added copper and then I added some copper blockers here. But overall this is the potentiometer here, the Pico W, and the buttons for forward, right, backward, and left. Now as you can see right here I messed up, and you can see that this leg connects to this one, and this is why it keeps staying at pressed. So I'll show you the demo when we talk about this. But yeah, I messed up, and I didn't know until it was too late when I was testing it. So let me exit out of this. Let me go to fritzing. This is the fix. So yes, I decided to do it this way instead so that these do not interfere with each other. So that will be for the next phase, but everything else will stay the same. Again, this is my first PCB design, so I had to learn everything from scratch. So anyways, that's it for the PCB design. So let's get to some tests. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you the board first before we proceed any further. So here's the top and here's the bottom with all the solder that's been added. And it's hard to see, but the traces are there. So you can see, I'll put it in the sunlight. You can see the traces are there for the potentiometer and the buttons. And you can already see there's an issue right there with the right button because it's connected to both GPIO and ground. That's not a good thing. You can also notice that on the side right here, I know you can't see it, but you can see there's solder balls behind the potentiometer, and that was mostly my fault because I added too much solder. So you can see it right there. You can also see some solder balls right there in the butts. Now, even though these buttons do work, these can cause issues in the future. So for the next iteration, I will be sure to use less solder. Luckily, I didn't have a problem with these headers. But yes, I think the lesson here is sometimes you have to learn from your mistakes, especially when you're doing the PCBs, to do it right. So I didn't expect to get it right the first time when it came to soldering, but I will be improving this. So yeah, that's it. On to the rest of the video. Alright folks, so let's start with the demo. Now, let's start with the buttons. So I have it on 14 already, and this one does work. I'll show you. So when I press, so you can see this one works, but it gets stuck and pressed because of that flaw. So we'll stop here. Let's go to 15, and we'll press, this is the left button by the way, and it works just fine. So we'll stop there. Now let's go to 0. This one does work too, as you'll see. See, it works perfectly with no issue. However, we're going to run into an issue with GP2. So when I save that, this one does work, but it's intermittently. So here it's not working because the Pico's inserted, but when I removed it, it worked just fine. So now we're going to stop here. Now let's move on quickly to the potentiometer. Because of the solder balls, as you'll see here, see, it gets stuck. Even if I push it, it'll get, see, even when I do push it, see, it does work. But that means I have to push it, and I don't want to have to do that. But the principle of it still works, even despite the solder balls on the back of the potentiometer. So we'll stop here. So anyways, the tests were mostly a success, but I still have to make some improvements. So that's it for the demo here. So that's it for phase 1 of the board. I will fix the issue with the right button and improve my soldering. However, in the next video, I will show you how the board works with the code I used for my Raspberry Pi Pico WBLE tutorials, so you get an idea of where we stand in terms of functionality. Anyways, I wanted to make this clear that this is the last video for 2025. So thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Thanks to everyone who has watched my videos and liked my content. But yes, this will be my last video for the year. However, next year we will continue working on these projects. Phase 2 will be the next part of the series. And most importantly, I still have my my ESP32 controller PCB that you will see as well. So we'll be trying that out as well. So again, thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring this project. So thank you very much. And I will link their website in the description if you'd like to buy a board from them. And they have a Christmas special going on. So I will link that in the description as well. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Take care.